unmute.
I didn't need a microphone.
I mean, I don't need it either, but like, I'd like to be able to talk by Sunday. Can you hear me? All right, we're gonna be, what is it? Was it AT&T? Is it here? Can you hear me now? Verizon, there we go. All right. Da-da-da. I'm just gonna keep talking. Check. Boom, boom, boom. Hello. So, Mama, I'm normally the fluffer, so the fact that I had somebody else come out here, and we're just like, yes! I am not so mean as to make you do cardio on a freaking Friday afternoon, though. So sorry for standing up. That's fine. If you feel ever so wanting to stand up and applaud at any point in time, it just takes you. No, I'll accept that, but no need to do it without your own permission. Oh. All right. So who's ready for another fun weekend of Anime Iowa? Oh yes. I love the energy that's already being brought. People haven't started drinking quite yet. And by that, to anyone under 21, I meant juice. So, before we get started with all of the fun things like our guests of honor and like figuring out numbers of things, I've got to go over some housekeeping stuff. Okay? What we have is, do you guys know how many people we had last year? Does anybody know that?
At least 2.
I have no idea. I was not told that high of a number, but let's go with 7,000. As far as I'm aware, we had about 3,500 people last year, but we're going to surpass that this year because already in just pre-registers, not even counting what's coming through the door today, we have over 1,800 people, right? So, now, think about that though. In the sense of like some of the hotel housekeeping things, if 3,000, let's say 600 people, are all littering, and everybody drops one piece of trash and doesn't pick it up, what's this place look like? Oh goodness. Somebody came out in the shade specifically for today. But yeah, it's gonna look crappy. So if you see trash, please make sure that you're picking it up, putting it away, make sure any of your trash, just don't litter, like things like that. Signs, if it's adhesive, make sure to clear that with bridge, because also if everybody's sticking things to the wall, it will apparently also look like Davenport. So, I'm not the one who said it, I'm just going off of what I heard. That means if everybody brought their beloved pets, all 20 of them that they have at home, because we're all crazy cat ladies deep down in our souls, this would be a really crowded convention too. So we want to make sure that the only pets that are here are ones doing a job and service animals. So if you do see a pet here, or an animal here, that animal is working, make sure that before you try to give it any sort of attention, you get consent from, the person it's working with. All right? That also being said, when we need service animals, that is because of different types of aid that's needed. There are also we need to have space for mobility aids, whether that is wheelchairs or any types of canes, supports, things like that. So having things spread out around the floor, as nice as it is, if you're blocking the entire, hallway, people can't get through if they can't step over you, because otherwise you're just going to become railroad tracks for a wheelchair. Okay? And that actually leads into, if you're curious about disabilities with cosplay and burlesque and stuff like that, there is going to be a panel about that later this convention as well, so keep an eye on your programs. And, with your programs, if you don't have one of these handy-dandy booklets, then you can also go online to animeiowa.com and go to the programming tab and go to program book. It'll show you a spot for the schedule, it will have all of the rules, all of the, general don't be a dink stuff. And there's a QR code. Where are the QR codes posted?
They're posted in all the programming room grids.
Oh, all of the programming room grids have a QR code. You scan that QR code, that brings up your program book for you.
It's usually on the back side of the...
And it's real time. It's not on the back side, unfortunately.
Yeah, so it's real time, but
Live flyers,
And-
they're also an info desk.
See, we're eventually, this table is gonna be for the execs so that they can actually start talking about all of those things and add that on. But we all know how excited Helia gets. So, but yes. So that you hear it, you'll probably hear it a second time, because I'm gonna ask Helia to repeat that when she has a microphone, is that the QR codes are on all of the programming, like room things, and then there's a bunch of different places for you to be able to get all of that information. The cool thing about something that's a digital information is that if things change because for whatever reason life happens and we have to move like panels around or rooms around, this is no longer the most up to date. But digital, that is real time. So you would know, hell hey, you know, what's a random panel somebody's excited for?
Anime dating game.
Anime dating game. When is anime dating game gonna be?
Saturday at 1 o'clock in Pearl 1.
Okay, so if anime dating game on Saturday at 1 o'clock in Pearl 1 gets changed for whatever reason, you're not gonna know so that you can actually be in the right space at the right time. And the next thing you know, you're like, this is not the date that I wanted. Ooh. It happens to us all. Sometimes I'm that. Alrighty. You wanna make sure you're wearing your badges at all time. And that you're also abiding by like the city, state, and federal laws, please. To the best of our knowledge. You got it, okay, cool. So, yeah. And have your badges on so that we know that you're where you're like supposed to be here. Any weapons, props, need to be costume only and make sure that those get peace bonded at the bridge. And then also, what?
Info desk.
Okay, it says here, digital copies, info desk. Yes, go to info desk right when you walk in, that big old area. Oh wait, does that mean you don't have to lug your massive props up the steps or into the elevator?
No.
Oh, okay, yes. Love it. Oh, I just looked at the ceiling again. I'm just like, ooh, the distractions. And then, unless you are a vendor here or something like that, please no soliciting. So I'm sorry, Girl Scouts, please get a booth if you're going to sell those cookies. I know we're out of season, but some of you have stale ones. But yeah, put them in the freezer, they're not good stale. This is true, you're a pro. All right, and then harassment. That is not going to be tolerated at all. Part of that is like, if you are bothering somebody without their consent, because there's definitely the thing of like, I love you, you annoy me, but you can stay with me anytime. That's different. If it is a thing about consent, who all knows what consent is? This is very quiet. Can we hear a cheer for consent? Remember, I can't see hands. I have a light right there. Mothman would be so enticed.
Consent is sexy.
Oh, yeah. It can also be mandatory. So the thing about consent is getting permission before you do something that involves that particular person. And it does, like, consent is sexy when you talk about it in that kind of intimate regard, but it goes into any walks of life too. Because, you know, saying like, I'm just gonna take this pen, it's mine, instead of being like, I don't know whose pen this is, maybe I should ask them. Things like that. Yes. Getting consent for pictures. Getting consent, like, if you are in the rave and you are dancing and you are intentionally coming up to this person where you don't know and you are like putting hands on them or getting really close, is that getting their consent? No. Yeah, you're correct. It is not getting their consent. So what you can do is you can dance near them and then you can be like, I really like dancing with you. I know it's really hard to hear, but you know, you can talk at each other, like be like, can I come closer? Body language. But making sure that you are getting consent for all sorts of things. If it involves another person, talk to them about it before that happens, whether it's a picture of them, whether it is taking, you know, borrowing things of theirs, even though you have every intention of giving it back, things happen. And, or like any of the other aspect too. This goes for the people who are drinking. Make sure you get somebody's consent before you hand them a drink with alcohol in it. because some people don't want to be drinking, right? So, any other questions about consent? Because I feel like that's something that needs actual full-on education about. You guys all good with that? Perfect. There is a panel about it that right after this, is it here? Oh my gosh, if you want to know more about consent, you can just stick around in this room for Celtic Honey's panel right after this. Alrighty, let's see here. I think I got all of the, talking about that out of the way. I did! Okay, so I was originally going to put these on cue cards, and I started to cut them up, and then I realized they were double-sided, so this is my Monday. Alrighty, speaking of panels and guests and things like that, can we have our row of guests stand up and go through that nice little slit in the curtain for you? And we're going to start announcing you. We're going to talk about you. Who's excited to meet our guests? I am enjoying this excitement. Thank you guys so much. Alright, while they're doing that nice little parade, they're going to come out here, they're going to do, because some of them were there when I was talking to them. So when I announce a guest, they're going to come out here and they're going to do a nice little pageant wave. While they're doing that pageant wave, I'm going to talk about them based off of things they told me to say about them. And then, at that point, they're going to stand over here. I'm going to let them talk about their panels, and then they're going to go back to their seats after that, because nobody wants to stay in that hall. All right, who do we have first? Oh, you were lined up almost close to actually how my notes are. Who peaked, honestly? All right, who do we have coming up first? I believe it's going to be Cemetery Cosplay. Cemetery Cosplay is a Colorado-based cosplayer who's been cosplaying since 2016, when he first attended his local convention at the request of his friend. He has created more than 300 costumes in his career across a far range of genres and comic books, anime, Disney, and horror, as well as does street and fashion modeling. He has traveled across the country from Reno, Nevada to Virginia Beach, promoting the concept that all cosplay is beautiful, regardless of anyone's outward appearance and expert level. You gotta keep doing pageant walk. We have to do that. You sure? You gotta hit the points, get the points. Yeah, do the runway. You gave me a long list. It's yours and yours. Cemetery Cosplay is a trans cosplayer and feels that cosplaying is what helped him most recognize his true self and allow himself to live the life he has now. As an advocate for LGBTQ plus individuals, both in his hobby as well as his main career as a mental health counselor, he uses his cosplay platform to help people speak up and feel their best and most true selves, especially in a world that is currently so opposed to anyone that seems different. I feel you there. Yes, trans!
Trans, right?
Yes! This jacket is only 10 points. Yes! Oh, thank you. You opened the door. So, because of weird life circumstances, I am fundraising now for top surgery that I have in September. And please, please, please help. It's a very big goal, and every little bit counts. For example, actually, we already have 1,800 people who are here and registered. If everybody chipped in $10, I'd meet my goal immediately. Yeah. Hey, $1 still helps significantly, so that is a huge thing. There's also a raffle at my booth, that's around Casey's booth, that is fundraising for that as well. So thank you for that lead-in. All right, we still got another paragraph. You're the one who sent it to me. He has won several awards on his journey from Best in Show to Best Performance, and he wants to use his knowledge of the craft to meet new communities and inspire new individuals to get out there, try it, and fall in love with cosplay the same way he did with the past decade. Which, I love the inspirational thing. You're amazing. Here is your chance to talk about your panels.
I had to bring my list because I have 7 panels. So, I couldn't remember the time though.
Go ahead, I got you.
You got this, you got this. Also, for the record, I've been cosplaying since 2006, not 2016. Yeah, I was like, I've been 300 costumes within the last 7 years. That's crazy. I'm not that talented. Ooh, the panel list. So, tonight, I have since it is anime and horror, thank you, you're such a cutie. Anime and horror theme, yay, who's really excited because I am Cemetery. Oh, thank you. In programming 3, I have a history of horror for all you horror junkies. I always have to say horror, otherwise it sounds like it's a history of horrors.
Oh, yeah. That's different.
That's for later tonight, after night. And then, yeah, I know, it's a drag show. Then tomorrow, on this stage, at 11 a.m., I have my cosplay and gender bend 101. Definitely come. It's a lot of talking about gender as an identity as well, because I yeeted my teeth in May, so that's why we're supporting this one yeeting their teeth. Yay. And then I have, oh my god, positivity speed dating also in this room. It's really fun. Everyone gets a little compliment souvenir. That's at 3:30 tomorrow. I already missed one. See, this is my point. At 2, I have cosplay A to Z, literally just what it sounds like. And then on Sunday, I have cosplay from beginner to branding, also on this stage. I'll be here a lot. At 2 p.m. on Sunday. So
All right.
that was my long list. Yay!
Thanks for getting off stage.
Thank
Alrighty, who do we have next? We got the longest talking points out of the way because, cemetery has a lot of accomplishments. We're all down for that. The next person coming up, our next guest of honor, is Celtic Honey. Celtic Honey is a mover and shaker of lots of sorts and kinds, whether it's on social media or in burlesque. Faye is definitely a force to behold. So, Celtic is doing panels on cosplay consent right after this. Avatar Kung Fu Elements, and is gaming with all of us, all of our guests of honor, on Saturday night. Among other things, Faye can tie a knot in a cherry stem, which I can't do anymore. I'm kind of sad. I used to be able to do it, but I got my tongue split, and now I have to relearn how to do it. Yeah. If you want to see it up close, just ask. I clap like a demigod. Faye is also national traveling performer, checking as far as California off the list last month. And is well versed in several kung fu weapons, such as straight sword, Chinese broadsword. You know what? I know how to pronounce this, but I'm going to say it right now because I'm nervous. Wendao. Staff, deer-worn knives, sticks, spear, and Fear's favorite, fans. All of this with well over a decade of kung fu experience. Then Celtic Honey also performed at Midwestern Burlesque Fest in March and is also a guest of honor at Planet Funk Con, which is August 25th and 27th in Davenport. Oh! And then cosplay guests at SuperCon, which is September 29th through October 1st in Sioux Falls. So here you go.
You want to get your times and stuff about
I think I wrote my times. Yeah, so the first one's super easy. It is cosplay consent. It is in this room at 2:30. The Avatar panel is tomorrow at, I believe, 3 p.m.
I think so.
Yes, thank you. And yeah, so my name is Celtic Honey. I am a longtime con goer of well over 20 years, starting with Gen Con, which is located in Indianapolis. And a longtime gamer, nerdery, sci-fi, fantasy, you name it, I love all of it. And yes, about 16 years ago, I actually started Kung Fu and used to have a Kung Fu school. I teach self-defense and a variety of things nowadays. And got into modeling, and later on performing, and now cosplay guesting and traveling all over. And I couldn't enjoy it more. So thank you so much for having me.
In the limelight, sitting down as we go. All right, who do we have next? I know this troupe really, really well. So the next up, I don't even need notes for this one, is the Knights of the Round Pasties. I just announced Knights of the Round Pasties. Hi, this is Eden Draconis. We have our wonderful dragon and our Knight of Contributions. We also have Luna Macaron coming through. Yes, of the Naughty Nerds Cabaret, our guests that are with us for our burlesque show tonight at 10. Then we have Milady Ray coming on out. Yes, of Naughty Nerds Cabaret. And then we have Largo Lyrical coming through. And then we also have myself, Absassin, Night of Consent. We we are performing tonight on this stage with a full room. It's not gonna be crowded like it was last year. We're gonna have all that seating. It's gonna be good. If you want close-up seating and you want to sit with the sponsors and you already got a bed and all of that stuff, you can get a wristband because we also, like, the people who are coming just for the event tonight, we want to make sure that those people also have a great seat, but you can get those seats too if you also did a wristband. So, we also have a lot of panels that we're going to be doing this weekend. Oh, I have an updated thing. See? Digital copies. All right, let's see here. What am I even looking at? That's Saturday. Okay, so we're at opening ceremonies. You guys gonna make it to that? No, everybody's got something else going on. You know what? It was a good show. I'm sorry you missed it. We have Freya's Protection, a chainmailing journey, which is Cutie Pabooty, one of our hatchlings, is going to be having it. Actually, Freya's Protection is going to happen, and then it's going to be cosplay consent. But you should stay for both of them because, well, you're going to learn a lot about chainmailing as well. And then, where are our other ones? Here, I'm going to actually just hand this off to those who are doing the panels on things. So I know you're helping with panels.
Oh, boy, I think I'm very good at this.
Yeah.
Okay, so what am I doing?
There,
Okay. I'm doing a panel with Absasser about cosplaying and burlesque with disabilities. There we go. Cosplay and burlesque with disabilities. Tips and challenges. It's round table style at, what is that, 4 o'clock? Hang on. 4 o'clock tomorrow. Right? I have no idea.
One of my disabilities is I'm dyslexic, so looks like it's at 8 o'clock. Yep. Yeah, 4 o'clock. And that is Coral E. Perfect. And then we also have rhinestone stuff.
This is the dragon, and I'm her midnight snack. I'll let her keep talking about it.
Thank you. So just a reminder, times are subject to change. Please keep up with your digital copy if you can. As we're all struggling to remember what time our panels are at. So,
panels are when we get there.
also that. Rhinestoning 101. I forgot when that is. It's tomorrow though.
3 to 4. 3 to 4.
3 to 4. Thank you. And that is going to be in programming 1. So what I've done, what Luna and I are going to do, is we bought a bunch of fabric squares. I'm bringing all of my rhinestones, which is going to be its own flex, by the way. It's really heavy, guys. It fills up a full duffel. I'll be providing glue. I'll be providing brushes and all that fun stuff. And Luna and I will also show off some of our proud projects. And you're welcome to bring in anything of your own if you want to rhinestone that.
Just letting you guys know, award-winning rhinestoner right here. All right, absolutely. And you've also seen some of the stuff that Eden Draconis with rhinestone. So if you're even just curious about the sparkle stones, it's worth checking out. And then later, Eden's going to be ranking her horde of Otome lovers on Sunday, and I have a panel called Chaos and Curiosities, which is, well, the only thing planned is I'm going to be drawing for the raffle, so make sure you're there for that. But it's a Q&A of all sorts, and anything can happen. You'll see me this weekend. You'll realize that the chaos is real. Alrighty. Well, thank you so much, Knights. We will see you again soon, and you'll all see the Knights if you're over 18 in this room tonight, right? 10 o'clock. All right, next up we have Samurai Dan and Jill. So you're gonna walk up, you're gonna do the pageant waves for this. So, let's see here, Samurai Dan. Daniel Conklin is accompanied by his wife Jillian and is a full-time martial artist at their dojo in Iowa. They have combined 35 years experience and specialize in 16th century samurai arts. Creators of the TV show The Way of the Samurai. Oh hey, I was on that TV show. Oh yeah, we go way back. Oh goodness. So, The Way of the Samurai, and author of many novels and articles, Samurai Dan's shows are a unique blend of history, combative skills, and humor. Designed unique. Oh yeah. Unique skills. Yep. Hi boys, great seeing you. Unique blend of history, designed to both educate and entertain the audience. He also says, and I quote, "Hi, be sure to mention that I am rich, handsome, completely ego-free, and all of these things I can assure you are as true as he is short." Would you like to tell us about the panels that you're doing and when now?
You forgot to mention I also sell hair care products.
You do? Rapunzel is just absolutely questioning things. Here you go.
I don't need a microphone.
Okay, there you
In
go.
fact, you're going to be better off if I don't have a microphone.
Red face.
Hello, AI. I am glad to be back. When it said that my dojo is in Iowa, this is my home con. I'm not wanting to embarrass anybody by pointing out former students. But there's probably several of you in the room hiding your face right now. This weekend, we have Samurai Squid Games at 3 o'clock. Who has seen the show Squid Games on Netflix? Alright, so we're going to do a samurai anime-con version, authentic right down to the last detail except for the snipers.
Snipers, no sniping.
They were very specific about no actual snipers. So we'll have to find a different way to count you out. We brought 2x4s. After that, we have, stop laughing at me, save it for the bedroom. I mean,
We have learned so much already.
we have, that was
sword
not
class.
what I needed. We have a sword class first. That was supposed to be my really brilliant segue into the I'm So Dumb panel that I have later, and I forgot I have a sword class. So, in between Squid Games and I'm So Dumb, show up for our samurai sword class. Bring a friend, hit them with a stick.
If you hit
If
them
you
all,
don't have a friend, bring an enemy and hit them with a stick. And if you've been at the con for 4 hours and you haven't made a friend or an enemy yet, you're doing it wrong. So show up anyway, we'll hit you with a stick. I mean, we have a samurai sword class this afternoon, and then tonight at 10 o'clock,
Something like that.
tonight in the program book it says Samurai Dan's I'm So Dumb. In case you haven't noticed, I have a big mouth and no filter. And I know nothing about anime. And normally when I find things out, it's at a con and it's public and it's humiliating. Just by way of example, do you folks realize there's a difference between hetalia and hentai? I didn't until I walked into a panel. So come to I'm So Dumb. If nothing else, you'll feel better about your own life after listening to me. Saturday, we have Samurai versus Ninja the quiz. We have a psychological profile. It's okay. No one's going to get carted off. But we're going to determine which Japanese warrior you are the most like, whether you identify more as a samurai warrior or those sneaky people, the ninja. What else do we have?
We have a self-defense class.
We have a no means no self-defense class. I am a big believer that you are entitled to your own personal autonomy. And what I mean by that is someone touches you, you say no. If they do not remove their hands from you, you have every right to give them their hand back. And it doesn't have to be attached to their body.
What you're saying is if they don't remove the hand, then that's implied consent to give their hand back to them without it being attached.
I'm all about consent.
Implied consent?
I like that. There are going to be people wandering around all weekend with a spare hand going, do you know who this belongs to? And you're going to blame me.
I feel like that, you know.
There isn't give me a hand joke, you know, everybody wanting to help out. They just want to just, you know, here you go.
I'm okay with that.
We have history of sharp, shiny, pointy things.
Yeah, you remember that whole thing about no real weapons?
You get the exception.
I am the exception. Yeah, that's not always positive. But in this case, we have a panel on Japanese blade, and I'm going to bring real toys for you to look at, and for the right donation, swing at someone. No.
Hey, that's how people get the hands.
It's all about consent.
I volunteer.
I volunteer.
This is not the Hunger Games. It's Squid Games later, guys. Squid Games.
We are participating in the 18+ gaming with the guests tomorrow night.
Yeah, you gotta do it first.
And then on Sunday, we have another sword class.
We have another sword class. We have the Ronin sword class. For anybody who's trained, there are certain etiquette. There's certain etiquette to sword combat. And as a samurai, if you work for a daimyo warlord, you're supposed to adopt their honor code. But a Ronin was a masterless samurai, which meant they didn't have to follow any honor code, they just had to win. So the Ronin sword class is basically dirty tricks that we will never teach you in the dojo, no matter how much you ask. So come to the Ronin sword class and learn to win and then rewrite history yourself.
You know, if you win, you can say you followed the rules the whole time.
Exactly! So it's a lot like modern politics. And with that,
Talking about the I'm so dumb after the sword fighting stuff makes you wonder if you got hit in the head a few too many times with the sticks that you're going with.
you hit me in the head! Once! At least once!
I'm very short, I can't reach that far. That's why you need a stick. So another guest of honor that we don't have here at the moment is Cirque Dubuque Drag Group. Yes. So those of you who don't know, we're going to have a drag show before the burlesque show, and that is going to be at some point in time that is not on my sheet here. It is not at 10 because our show's at 10. No, I think it's actually at like 7 or something like that. Yeah, it's early. It's actually it's family friendly in that case, so there's enough room to turn over everything so that we can have the not family friendly burlesque show. So, and we have all sorts of fun characters for the burlesque show. Oh yes, it's gonna be good. But Cirque Dubuque is back in town for one night only and tonight. So join Anime and the rest of the Animaniacs. Drag artists from across the Midwest come together to share their penchant for darkness and cosplay with horror-themed acts. Stretching, oh I see what you mean. I gotta really go hard on those R's. Horror-themed acts. Stretching from anime to cult classics, kings, queens, and non-binary things. We've got something for everyone. They also have a drag panel that is going to be at 4 p.m. today on main stage. So explore the world of drag with them. Alrighty, now we have, do you guys want to see the people who actually help make this happen? Yeah. I want to remind you, by the way, that you can also be part of making this happen. Please. Okay? Yes, because it's a thing of like if you're going through the convention and you're like, oh my gosh, this organization could be so much better, and that's like in your scope of practice and you have actual knowledge on that.
Or no knowledge.
No, we don't want people who don't know what they're doing. That ends up with more mess. So if you have knowledge on it, we want you, please help make this con like as great as it can be. Because without that, without the people who are making the convention run, there's no convention, is there? No. Exactly. So we want people who know what they're doing, and like the thing about can be trained, let's be totally frank, there's a lot of specific knowledge that sometimes just comes from having already been in the field. If you don't have knowledge on it and you'd like to be a volunteer, we still love having hands and we still love having committees, and you can volunteer to get trained to have knowledge on it. But we really want people who know what they're doing to come help, so that we need you. That's what I'm saying, all right? We love you. So much more. Oh, thank you. Alrighty, now I get to go back to my cut up notes, because just so you guys know, ADHD is a very real thing, and it's a fun time, guys. All right, so our first exec that's going to be coming up to the stage is Katie. Katie does many wonderful things, but like, go ahead and just tell me, what would you say you're the most in charge of? Marketplace. So, and IT. So wait, you can sit down, it's fine. You're in charge of Marketplace and IT, which makes sense because Marketplace is going mostly online. Yeah. So if you want to say anything, by the way, you can just steal that. That's you. Yeah.
Okay, so from here on out, all
Can-
t-shirts for the con will absolutely be on.
I don't think it's on yet.
It's
Can
not.
we on mute too?
That's alright, I can talk.
We're gonna have to be loud all weekend. Like,
I'm good at that.
yeah. Hey, there we go.
Hello. There we are. Okay. So a lot of you know we had website issues. We completely revamped that as well as made a whole new shopping site. And all of your merch goods for the fan market will now be online. Sadly, shirts will not be sold at con anymore. That's a really expensive thing to do.
And that way you can also make sure you get the size that you want, and we don't have to try to carry absolutely every size with that.
And I'm not just gonna like pick a blue shirt and an image and put it on. You can customize the color your shirt comes in.
What? You guys, the customizability. Oh. That's why I get custom jackets with my name on it. Excellent. Thank you so much, and thank you for helping us have a wonderful marketplace and also a website that we can go check the schedule at. Yes. All right.
The marketplace is wrong in the book. It is live fixed online.
Okay, so visit the online and then make an adjustment to your book if you want to. If you don't have a book, now you have the more information, the correct information. All right, next we have coming up is Helia. Helia, you've been doing a lot of things. Well, you're talking about programming here before, but what all other things have you been kind of going with? We can get close to it, it's fine. You have my consent.
So I have my hands in main stage programming. Basically any events here are on main stage. I have my hand with the Rangers. I'm exec. I basically got also social media. I always forget that. I touch my hands in a little bit of everything that we got going on. So.
Wait, so, and the whole thing of like having more people, does that mean that you don't have to be spread so thin and that like, that means that things can just be a lot better? God, like, yeah, you have everything because having to have so many hats.
Having more people would definitely help. I'm not gonna say that I don't want help. Not having to wear so many hats would definitely free up some time and allow me as a condor to actually enjoy the convention as well. So, that would
And
help.
delegate.
So, what you need to know about the execs is none of us get to sleep because we're doing so much. We would love for you to join us and love for you to learn for us and love that we can all enjoy the con together.
And actually sleep sometimes.
Please.
Yeah, that's the thing, is it seems like being on staff can be really hard when there's not enough people because the things still have to happen. So if we can actually lighten the load and be able to like distribute it and all of that stuff to delegate, that means that when you see them on Sunday at closing ceremony and Helia is propped up with a broomstick and we have Katie kind of a little bit scarecrow-esque, that doesn't have to be the case next year. So we really would love the help and for things to be as great as they can be. So.
But just to kind of round that out, if you see me running around, I've got a little bit of answers for everything. So if you see me, don't be afraid to touch me, or not touch me, but come up and be like, hey, you got some?
You did get consent.
Can I get some answers? And I will more than likely have an answer, or I will have a place to direct you to have the answer.
There we go. All right, and our next exec is Ranger Nurse. Ranger Nurse, I would assume that you do Ranger stuff and medic stuff, but I have been wrong about names before. What else do you do? You can talk in there. It gets them to sit down, so I have them trapped.
I can't get out now.
So I'm in charge of the clerics, so all of the medical personnel, along with the security details for keeping everyone here happy and safe at Panama, Iowa.
Thank you. So you're saying that to make your job easier, if you see somebody doing something on the back patio that would likely result in a concussion, a cut, or otherwise something that would involve you, should people like speak out and be like, hey, maybe don't do that?
Absolutely. Absolutely. If you see something, say something.
Don't.
In a better context this time, sorry guys.
And so they're not supposed to start egging them on, just be like, do it, do it, do it. No? Okay. That's just for when people are doing smart things at the rave, like really cool dance moves?
Yeah.
Perfect. All right, speaking of, we actually have some pretty cool DJs for the rave, don't we?
Yeah, we do.
Yeah? All right, so one of our great rave DJs with rave reviews is Mr. Pixel. Mr. Pixel will be DJing for us this Saturday night, and the whole rave is going to go from 10 p.m. to 2 a.m. Granted, you know, if the party's hopping, there's some possibilities of going longer, I think, right? Yeah? Mr. Pixel is known for a heavy dubstep with emotional future bass. Ooh, emotional. Oh wait, different emotions. And has cooked up a ton of video game and anime edits with his own music and others. We will also have music from Pseudo Reality. Pseudo Reality has been writing and producing electronic music since 2002 with nearly 10 EPs and albums of original music. He started DJing in 2006, not 2016, 2006, and has traveled the Midwest playing countless clubs, bars, and festivals. Even played on the same lineup as Deadmau5. In 2009, the Deadmau5. In 2009, he began hosting parties and raves and has been working as a world-traveling DJ and has hosted camp-out festivals and club nights. This is the second time bringing both of them and their lasers to Anime Iowa, and he and Mr. Pixel are excited to transport you out of this world. And I assure you, if you are still partying hard, and they might just treat you to another hour of the sick beats. So bring your LED lit bullets and bring it to main stage to move it. Yes. Alrighty. We have some things about the charity as well, don't we? Which that happened to be right where I cut the center line. Chaos. Alright, so would you like to tell us a little bit about the charity since my notes are cut in half? Would you like my notes so you can look at them on a flat thing and I'm not like, you know, trying to hold them up? You're the one who's decided to go second so you're right in front of the microphone, but you can pass it off to anybody. It's a game of hot potato.
All right, so our charity this year is YSS. It's one of Iowa's oldest and largest youth-serving nonprofit organizations. YSS's mission is to provide hope and opportunity by putting kids first. We offer education to build healthy minds and bodies, counseling to overcome life challenges, and stability to focus on the future. That will happen, the charity auction will happen at between 11 a.m. and 2 p.m. in Saturday in Programming 2. That's the room right behind here. So you go around the corner, and it's the room around the back and to the right. And we are all super, super excited. Unfortunately, we did not get a few items to tease with, but from what I've heard, we have a large, good collection. So please at least stop by and check out some stuff, maybe bid on some things. I know that the charity would appreciate it, so would we. Thank you.
Yes, there's a lot of opportunities to be able to get things for a really great price and also a great cause. So there's a lot of that going on through here. Another thing, one of the reasons to pass off the baton said, make sure you're hydrating. Hydrate or dihydrate, then you become zydrate, okay? Hydration comes in a little plastic bottle. All right, is there anything else as far as housekeeping things like, where's Bridge at, guys?
So, registration is on Oakdale 4. That is all the way down at the far end of the hall. It is in a smaller room this year, so please be patient with the lines.
Yeah, okay, so registration, corner out down that way. What about Bridge?
So, the bridge where I will be living is up on the second floor at the top of the stairs. You go up the stairs and to the right, it's the first door right past the bathrooms.
That is convenient since you will be living there.
I know, right?
It's great. All right. What about Lost and Found?
Yep, we host Lost and Found up at the bridge. We also are collecting it at the hotel desk, and they are bringing it to the bridge. So if you've lost something, please come up to the bridge, and it should be there at some point if somebody finds it. We also have a marketplace, Lost and Found, but it will eventually come back to bridge. So again, circle back around to bridge. We will have it if it turns up.
Just keep checking bridge. This is a blanket consent. If you do find something that is an obviously abandoned and lost item, take it to bridge. Okay? That's not the whole like, I'm gonna borrow this and that, you know. It's a, oh wow, so we definitely lost this. I'm gonna take this to bridge. So, and then also, hey, Ranger Nurse, what about like Ranger HQ and all of that stuff?
So the Ranger HQ is actually going to be located on the bridge as well.
Oh yeah.
And if you need any type of assistance or any type of help with any, if you have any issues, problems, concerns, then you definitely come up to the bridge and seek out one of the Rangers. We have many Rangers who are all wearing their vests and more than willing to help out.
What if you need first aid or basic first aid? Because like you stubbed your toe on a stone outside or decided to do a flip off of the railing.
Well, we might laugh, but we have Band-Aids.
But first, we'll put the Band-Aid on.
Band-Aid comes first.
So do they go to bridge or do the traveling Rangers have basic first aid so they could just flag somebody with a vest?
So majority of the Rangers have first aid and all of them are first aid certified and trained. But the bulk of the equipment will be located on the bridge. Oh, and then we do have the satellite station located in the marketplace.
This is why I ask these questions.
Just a quick reminder, I know that in years past, peace marking has been on the bridge. We cannot find the peace marking sign. That is down at info desk at the bottom of the stairs. I'm just going to reiterate that as many times as I can. Tell your friends, tell your buddies to tell their friends. Spread that word.
Spread that word like you spread consent.
Thank you.
All right, yeah, so peace working. And then, like, who all is ready for a really awesome, fun convention? You guys fell asleep in the dark over there, right? Or are you just not wanting to have fun at the convention? Let's hear from you over there, too. Yes! Absolutely love this. Well, thank you so much. That has covered an element. Does anybody have anything that they didn't get the information on? Like, shout it really loud if there's something we didn't cover.
Art show! Art show!
Art show? Hey, this is why I made them stay at this table so we can answer those questions. What about the art show?
It's on the second floor.
I was going to tell them the room. So it's on second floor, just down the hall to the right, up the stairs, or if you come off the elevators, it's to the left. You go down the hall, and it's 2 doors on the left, not the second door. It is the room, Clark Room.
Clark Room.
Clark Room is the art show. They also have art to buy up there. Prints are available from some of the artists. Please go up there and check that out.
All right. That is excellent to know, and once again, supporting small, supporting somewhat local in its own right. Wonderful. Thank you. Anybody else have anything that they wanted to know information about? Well, we have them in a one central location before they disperse like cockroaches. We love
This
it.
won't happen again.
Thank
It
you.
won't.
We appreciate you so much.
Okay, I shall release you. You can go now. Thank you again. Let's give another round of applause for those that are helping make this run. All right. So after this is in this room is going to be Freya's chainmailing journey. I'm going to run to Marketplace for our booth, and then after that is going to be Celtic Honey's consent panel. But I'm sure there's a whole bunch of other things, but we've probably already run late. I don't even know what time it is. 2:03. Wow, that means we're actually not running late. I could still have you for a whole another 27 minutes. I'm not going to because this hat vest is really hot, but
But it's shiny.
Yeah, it is.
Great, that's for later tonight. So if you want more of all of this fun chaos, be sure to come to the show tonight. Thank you so much. You have a wonderful day.